Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right in. I have been putting off filming this comp recap. I wanted to have it up days ago, so it's now Friday that I'm filming this, almost a week post-comp. To be fair, the first couple of days of the week, I literally was just finding my feet. I was feeling exhausted post-comp, like always feel exhausted, and had tons of work to catch up on as well because I took annual leave over the weekend, and that was the first annual leave I've actually taken from coaching literally all year. So I had quite a lot to catch up on when I got back to work on Monday. Started training in Tuesday, and I just feel like I've had no free time this week. So I found some time today to sit down and talk through how comp went. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have already seen I did not achieve the main goal of the day, which was to get on the podium, which was always going to be difficult to do because I am not at my strongest right now, but I am getting there. I felt stronger going into my comp than I have done since the start of the year. I had really good training right at the start of the year, and then I kind of just lost all momentum, and I've only recently started to feel like I was regaining it again, basically since starting with my coach Lewis. But that's all fine. I'll kind of walk through the day. So I woke up at 84.9 kilos. The cut wasn't as effective as I was hoping it would be, but I just think my body doesn't respond that well to cutting, which means I'm just gonna have to sit a little bit closer to the class from now on, which is something I'll talk about in future videos, kind of what my plan is going forwards. But the 84, like the 900 grams, weighing at 84.9 when I woke up, it came off really easily. Like I don't struggle to get that weight off on comp morning. It fell off pretty easy. I had 2 hot baths, did some splitting, and then I had 1 really warm shower before I then started getting ready, and I got to the venue about half an hour before weigh-in opened, and I was 30 grams over, so super easy weight cut, to be fair. I felt really good. Like, I felt great in myself. I sat and chilled out for like an hour and a half after weighing in, and yeah, I was just chatting away, really relaxed, really calm. Found rehydrating and everything really good. Like I sometimes struggle to get the fluid and everything in that I need to, and I often struggle with kind of bloat and things on comp day, which I don't lift well when I'm bloated, but I didn't feel like that happened at all this time. I paced everything really well. I felt really good in myself. I was honestly in a really good mood at the start of the day. Like when I was chatting to people before I started like getting changed and warming up, like generally I was saying how good I felt, and that, you know, that's pretty unusual for a comp morning. Like there were no nerves. I didn't even feel like I was about to lift, to be honest. Like I just felt very good in myself. So that made me feel really confident, which quickly ended when I started warming up. Warming up for squats, I took 70 as normal. Felt okay, fine. Went up to 120. Did not feel good. My normal jump, 120 for me, literally feels like an empty bar normally. Didn't quite feel like an empty bar on this day. Then I went to 140 for my third warm-up, and it just felt kind of heavy and I felt a bit slow, and that didn't stop. So I opened at 182.5, and when I took my last warm-up, I genuinely felt a bit of panic because I was like, that was a slow 170. Like 170 should not be moving like that. But I hit my opener as planned, and it definitely was slower than planned, but I did keep saying to myself and to my coach, I was like, I'm nervous, so things are gonna feel worse because I'm nervous. I just have to remember that just because they're feeling bad doesn't mean they're actually moving badly. Like I can still do it. And I was really trying to tell myself that. And then I will just play my opener, show you guys how that moved.
This is 182.5 for her as an opener. A little work there.
So as you can see, it wasn't a speedy opener, but I'm not a super quick lifter, so it's fine. We only took a 7.5 kilo jump. Basically, the reason for opening at 182, the planned second was around 190 to 192, and then hopefully jump to 197 or 200, depending how I felt on the day. But I know that on comp day, I'm super nervous, and squats never feel good. Even if they're flying on the platform, they never feel like that for me. So I generally take slightly smaller jumps than I would in training on the platform. And so we were like, okay, well, if you open at 182, if you feel good, jump to 192. If it's feeling off, we can just take a 7.5 jump to 190. So that's all fine. And I hit a really comfortable 190 in the garage alone a week out. Well, I had my boyfriend spotting me, but like on my own at home, 1 week out, 190, and it moved really, really well. So we went to 190 for my second, just because the opening was a little bit sticky. And I was really trying to get in the mindset to work hard, guys. Like, I can't express. I'm normally no headphones, chatting away, super chill, just calm, enjoying the day. The music in the venue for squats, they did turn it down after, was so overstimulating. It was so noisy. That combined with just a generally busy warm-up room and my nerves and being aware of the fact that things weren't moving great, I had my headphones in. I was trying to just get myself kind of focused in this little zone, feeling good. Came out for the 190, and I'll just play and show you guys what happened.
Come on. Oh. Just tipping forwards.
So when you watch it back, I almost get through my initial sticking point, start to speed up, and then bail. I remember in the moment feeling like I could have grinded the rep out, but it would have been like an RP 10 and I'd have had nothing left. And I remember consciously thinking to myself, you don't want your second to be this hard, because I knew that would tank my energy. Which, not the right mindset to have, because logically we're not going up anyway, so even if I just grind it out on my second and don't come out for a third or whatever, like, it doesn't matter. But I don't think I did quit. Like, I genuinely don't think I did. Like, it wasn't great. And my coach did say to me, he was like, you literally just gave up. Like, you can do that. Like, just go out and take it again. So anyway, I didn't let it get in my head. I knew that if I missed that on my third and didn't hit the 190 and like left squats with just 182, that there was zero chance of podium. And I did have that thought playing through my head, especially because Holly, who I was competing against, she was probably the one I was in the closest battle with for podium, or there were a couple of other girls that weren't too far behind either. She was going out for 200 on her third, and I fully believed she had it. She squatted 195 on her second. Like, I knew that I needed that 190 as a minimum, and then it would just be a case of make up as much ground on bench and then pull as much as I possibly could in order to get on the podium. So I came out for my third. I went from listening to rap music that I was trying to get myself in the zone, put some Hannah Montana on between my second and third attempt. And I'm not saying Hannah Montana is magic, but
Come on. Wow, there it is.
So I did get the 190 on my third, and it felt in the moment like max effort, but Lewis even said to me, like, you probably had another 5, and my coach was like, you probably had another 5 on that. Like, had you hit that on your second, we could have added 5. And watching it back now, outside of the moment, I agree. Like, I know I can grind a rep out, but there's just something in me on comp day that just can't find that gear. And to be fair, I think with me in singles, I generally feel like that. I can grind reps out or grind a rep out when it's like a rep set volume work. But for singles, I do struggle with that. Either way, we left squats, I hit my third, I was in a good mood, and the scariest part of the day was done. Moving on to bench press. So, overall, I felt pretty good. I still didn't feel super strong, but we were warming up on, I think they were ER racks, which I'm not a princess when it comes to kit, but I do love the Eleiko soft pad. And warm-ups weren't feeling amazing, but I did then have the realization after I did my last warm-up that I was then going onto the soft pad, and I knew it would feel better on there. So planning attempts for bench, on my first call with Lewis before we started together, I said to him, look, I would like to go for podium at British, that's obviously a big goal. But the last 3 comps I think I've done, 2 or 3 comps I've done, I've PB'd my bench by 2.5. And I would like to continue that trend. And also when I hit the 117 at the English early this year on my third attempt, it was pretty comfortable. Like, the pause, questionable. I think I skipped the press command, but the actual speed of the press, super good. So I was like, I'd like to really aim for a bench PB at British. Like if nothing else, I would like a bench PB, which going in my PB was 117. So that would mean I'd like to hit at least 120. And bench was definitely the best lift going in, like through prep. Bench has been feeling great, and bench for me is fairly consistent. And on comp day, it does tend to just show up. I don't know what it is. I think partly because I always get a lift off at comp, and that definitely helps me bench more, whereas at home I train alone, so I tend to just do them myself most of the time. That makes a difference. I really like the soft pad. The primal rack I bench on at home isn't amazing. Like it's fine, it does the job. But something on comp day just clicks for me in bench. I think it could also be the mentality, because I do kind of see bench as a bit of a break, like a low pressure break, even though for me, I have to have a good bench day in order to have a chance at being competitive, because my deadlift just isn't as good as the other girls. Bench makes up that ground for me. But yeah, I'm always in a good mood when I'm benching. However, during warm-ups, I did go very lightheaded on every single warm-up, like very lightheaded. And that continued onto the platform as well. So I was slightly nervous about that, but I kind of just tried to ignore it and just do what I could. I was fine. Like I knew I wasn't going to actually pass out. I just felt pretty rough when I was like getting back up off the bench and stuff. So anyway, attempt plan was to basically set myself up for a PB, hopefully 120 as a minimum, right? So in order to do that, in theory, we could have done 5 kilo jumps, 110, 115, 120. However, again, I know myself on comp day, I like to do a 5 kilo jump into a 2.5 kilo jump, because it just secures the kilos for my total when I'm in a close battle. But that did mean opening at 112.5. And one of the scariest things as a powerlifter is opening on a new number, okay? So I opened on 182 on squats. That was terrifying. Opening on 112 on bench, equally as terrifying, especially when warm-ups weren't moving the best and I kept going lightheaded. But I'm just gonna play you guys my opener. I'll play you my second as well, because there's no point talking through it all in tons of detail.
Very easy there for Sean. Looks really good there. Very smooth.
So when I came off from my opener, Lewis instantly was like, right, 117, fine. I hesitated, and I did actually say, oh, I don't know, like that felt quite hard. Watching it back, ridiculous. The 112 flew. 117 also moved really well. I'm not mad at it. It was slightly slower, but I mean, it was 117. But it moved fine. It definitely, again, wasn't my strongest day, but we got to load a PB on the platform.
Come on, come on. That was very smooth for a PB. And very well done for Sean there.
So we officially have a new comp PB on bench press. Again, not on my strongest day either. I'm super happy to have hit 120, and actually, I think my attitude for the whole comp and how it went and how I'm recapping it would be far more negative had I not hit that 120, because that is like a big milestone. It's breaking into that next barrier of like 10s, you know, for 120 range. Very exciting. Bench is on a really good like upward trajectory at the moment. I think we've got a really good recipe in training for it to continue to progress. And yeah, I PB'd my bench in all my comps this year, and none of my comps this year have been great. So no complaints from me there. Like I was really happy with that, to walk away with 120. I did feel like I was gonna just hit the deck as I got up off the bench. Like I got up really slowly because I was seeing stars, but all is good. I survived, got off the platform, went back out, like, at the back, chilled out for a bit before deadlifts. We were sharing the platform with the 120 plus men, which actually worked out so well. Originally on the schedule, the 84s were 2 flights of either 6 or 7, but because a couple of people dropped out, they merged us with the 120 plus men. So we had a flight of, I think there was 12 of us in the end, and then, or it might have been 11 or 12 of us, and then the other flight was about 10, 11, 120 plus men, and that worked really well timing wise, because also they're a little bit slow, you know, the loads they're lifting take a bit of time to load, which meant we got quite a nice break between each main lift. So had a little bit of time to chill out before deadlifts. So yeah, got myself ready for those. Was really excited to pull sumo. Like going into the comp, I didn't really have super high expectations. Obviously I wanted to come third, that was a big goal, but because my sumo is still so new, we couldn't really predict what was going to happen, how things were going to move, how reliable my technique was going to be or anything. So I was just excited to try something different on the platform. I will say, warming up for sumo, I keep kicking my camera. Warming up for sumo, it felt okay. Not maybe as good as it had done previously in training, but I will reiterate again, clearly wasn't my strongest day. But we went out, we opened at 175, which I kept saying to myself, even if sumo isn't feeling amazing, there is no way I'd have been opening at 175 if I was still pulling conventional. So that in itself, huge win.
And looking to hopefully break a personal best today.
So we went up to 185 for my second because the 175 just absolutely flew. And I was really excited because I hadn't pulled 185 sumo literally until 1 week out. The previous 2 blocks of sumo, I'd pulled 180 end of block and it had taken me 2 tries to actually get. So I was slightly nervous for the 185 second, but equally I knew that I had it. It was really comfortable when I pulled it 1 week out. And yeah, I knew it would be fine. So I went out and I just reminded myself that with sumo, you have to be patient off the floor, and patience is not my strongest trait. So I'm just gonna show you guys how 185 moved.
Very speedy there. I think Sean, having recently switched over to sumo.
So it was still pretty quick. It obviously felt heavier, but it felt better than it did a week out. So I was feeling really good. I just let Lewis load what I needed to try and secure third, which we thought would be 192.5. Actually, we probably would have needed 195 looking at how things actually played out on the day. But when you have the lowest pull, you have to just do your best at guessing what other people have. So I did go out for 192.5.
Come on. Oh, not quite there. Very close though.
I will say, as much as it was kind of a shock to other people that I didn't get the 192, and they were like, if you'd have just broken the floor, you would have had it, which is probably true. But obviously we all fail at a certain point, and mine is clearly off the floor at the moment for sumo. But I've not had a lot of practice yet of actually learning to be patient off the floor. And I think the bar got away from me slightly. I felt a little bit of a pull in my adductor. And it obviously just wasn't worth pushing through just in case, but also I just don't think I had it that day. And that's fine. I still felt really good at the fact that my PB on deadlift is 190 kilograms, which I hit in competition for the first time in, May 2024, I think? And I hit it once in training a few months before that. I've pulled 190 twice in my life, and I've not been close to it since that competition. I went out for my third pull, my first comp pulling sumo since I was like a teenager, a junior. I think I was 21 when I used to pull sumo. I'm 27 now. Only recently switched back, and I actually went out for a legitimate third attempt to try and pull a PB. The reason I think I'm not mad at coming fourth this year is because I am so overly confident that 6 more months, even 3 more months of sumo, and my deadlift will be so far ahead of where it currently is that my total will put me ahead. And I wouldn't usually say that sort of thing out loud, but genuinely, give me time. I know I'm stronger than ever. I've just got to show it on the platform and have it all come together on the day. This wasn't that day. And it's really frustrating to me when I think about it too much, because at British last year, I totaled 492.5. It was what I needed to secure third. There was definitely room left for me to load more should I have needed to. Didn't need to, didn't bother. Fast forward 12 months, British 2025, I totaled 495. So in theory, that's 2.5 kilos added to my total. It was a matched total PB from when I competed at All England's back in July. And that was a 9 for 9 day, but it was also a bad day in that my wake up made me feel awful. I didn't want to be there. I kind of just sandbagged to get through. So it's frustrating to me that I only hit 495 again, but also it doesn't matter, because had I totaled more, and I know I'm capable of more, if you add up my individual lifts on open powerlifting, I think it comes up to either 502 or 505. Individual lifts, I'm stronger and I'm a 500 plus kilo lifter, right, total, but It hasn't come together on the day yet, and that's not a problem because the way I've been rationalising it in my head is, had I placed third this year, the same as last year, I would get nothing from it because I am still too far away from the top lifters in my class, who are incredible, to get anything anyway. Like, I want to get an international singlet, which again, I don't usually say these things out loud, and I've already got the England singlet. I'm in a position where it's not that difficult. If I put my name forward for those comps with the England singlet, I will most likely get an invite. But that's not my goal. My goal is a GB singlet, whether that's Western Euros, eventually a Euros, I don't know. I don't know how that looks in my future, but I do know that that is a goal that I have and I've had since I started the sport. And this is full power as well, not bench only. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I love this sport. I love training. Even if that goal never comes true, I love doing this. So it doesn't matter that I'm not there yet because I'm still going to be around in 5 more years. I'm still going to be around in 10 more years, providing I'm obviously fully able to do this still. So it doesn't matter that I'm not there yet. Also, again, give me 6 more months of sumo, I will be pulling comfortably over 200. Like, I genuinely fully believe that, and it's just a matter of time before things all come together. My squat the last few months has been so far off my best. Like, I've hit 190 for a triple before. I've squatted 185 for 4. I did like a super sub-max set of 180 for 5 at the start of the year. That strength hasn't just disappeared. It's just not there right now, and it's just not visible right now. So basically, to conclude, I did not do what I intended to do and come third, but I'm also completely okay with it. I came fourth. It was a really, really fun day. Like, I don't usually enjoy competing. I enjoy doing well at competitions. I enjoy placing and that sort of thing. I don't enjoy the actual aspect of lifting at a comp. Like, I don't enjoy that. I really enjoyed this comp. I think the group that I was competing with were amazing. There were so many just friendly people in the group. We all just seemed to have fun and just enjoy the day. Lifting with the 120 plus men, the 84 plus women as well, like more and more familiar faces out the back, whether that's coaches or lifters, people to chat to. I really love the British every year anyway. Like, it's just a fun place to be. See people I only get to see like once or twice a year at comps. But as a lifter, I actually had fun. I don't usually say that about meets. So it ended up being fine. I wouldn't have got anything more out of it apart from an automatic invite for next year's British. But to be honest, I don't want my automatic invite to be a 495 total. I want to be in the 500s and earning a spot with the lifts I know I'm capable of. And it's just a matter of time before they appear. So it is what it is. It's all fine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. I never make notes of what I want to cover in my recaps. So then when it comes to actually recapping, I just kind of waffle and hope I've covered everything. In terms of what's next, I'm really excited. We've made some good changes with my training. I did try and negotiate with my coach 6 days SBD. He instantly said no, mostly because I was currently, like, my frequency going into this comp was 2 times squat, 3 times bench, 2 times deadlift. Jumping to 6 would probably be slightly dramatic and silly, but we have increased frequency on squat 3 times a week. Bench is now 4 times a week. Sumo is still twice, but I'm really excited for the changes we've made. We're going back to squatting in flats. I've only done 1 session so far in flats, and it did feel awkward, but I already know once I get more used to doing it again, make that feel more natural, it's going to be a really good move. Bench, we're just going to keep chipping away at. We found a really good formula going into comp, and it's just a matter of time before it, it's just going to continue to climb. I know it is. It's like, I can tell bench is just on a good one right now. And sumo, give me some time to get used to being more patient off the floor. Give me some time to just refine it, get more practice in, and I know it will take off. So I'm really excited for the next few months of training, and I don't know when I'm next going to compete. I have the English in mind just because generally it's never too far away from where I live in terms, well, a close comp for me is like 2-hour drive, but generally the English is relatively close. Even if it's not, it doesn't matter too much. It's always just a solid comp to do. If not, it'll probably be one of the qualifiers. I'm assuming they're using the same system next year for qualifying, so we'll just kind of see. It is a Commonwealth year. I'm telling myself I'm not going to go for Commonwealth because I need to save some money. This house needs a lot of money put into it, and we have been spending money on other things, so need to start saving for the house. And also I think work-wise next year is looking like it's going to be very busy as well, so we'll just see. We'll make decisions as and when we need to, but I'm really looking forward to putting things together. There are no negative feelings from this comp, which is weird considering it, like, when I really sit and like try and like take it in properly, I should be upset. Like, I totaled 2.5 more than last year's British, and arguably I had more kilos in the tank last year. But that doesn't matter because I know I'm stronger. This year has not been wasted. Every bit of work I've done this year will come together. It's just a matter of time. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. So thank you if you've made it to the end. I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'm going to keep documenting my training going forwards, and I will talk through all the changes and stuff in upcoming videos in a bit more detail. I'm really excited for next year. I am confident that the next time I step on the platform, numbers will be significantly more impressive than they were this time. And I'm really excited to put everything together and just kind of work. Sometimes you need a loss, and I don't really want to define it as a loss because it wasn't really like, even though I've lost out on podium, I've not really lost anything because I wouldn't have got anything from getting on the podium. But nothing feels an off-season quite like a disappointing performance. So just going to carry this with me and put up some really productive training over the next few months, as always. And I'm excited to see what I can do next time I step on the platform, whenever that ends up being.